Hey there everybody, it's Dave with North Country Bassin. Just doing a little late night vlog here, about to go to bed. It's like 11 o'clock at night, storming out, feels really nice outside. It was really humid all day up here in Minnesota. Calmed down when the rain was about to start, and rain came and went, and now it's a little bit breezy and the humidity was sucked out. It's really nice out right now. So I'm doing this out in my garage with the garage doors open. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Favorites rod designed by Fishing with Flair. It's the Froggin' and Flippin' rod. I'm just going to do a quick review of it. I used it this last weekend on my fishing trip with Nate. I'm going to have a video edited and posted hopefully within the next couple of days from the footage I got from that. Fishing wasn't gangbusters. It was actually pretty bad. A front moved through on Friday, so when we got up on Saturday, essentially got skunked. I got one pike after about 4 hours on the water. We moved to two different other bodies of water, and by evening time the bite had kind of picked up. We got 3 or 4 bass, I think, and then as soon as the topwater bite started again at night, we found a little island on the lake we were on, and Nate was able to crank a bunch of northerns in, and a really tiny bass. You can see it on my Instagram, north_country_bassin. You can see pictures of Nate's bass. You'll also see it in the video. I didn't get the video of the actual catch, but I did get after the math of the catch. His whopper plopper was about the same size as the bass. It was pretty funny. So when I first took this rod out of the tube that it came in, I was really impressed. It did come with a nice cover here. I'm gonna be investing in a few of those for my other rods. Just kind of been upgrading my tackle, just so that I can actually fish effectively. So this cover is really nice. It's got Flair's logo on it. It's got Favorites logo on it. It also actually did come with a nice Favorite sticker that's going on one of my tackle boxes. Really excited about it. So never mind about this reel here. This was actually my first bait caster I ever bought. It's a Zebco Protege. It's got 3 bearings. It's a 6.1 to 1 gear ratio. It's actually kind of garbage. I'm not a huge fan of it. When I first got it, within an hour, the line guide had broken off, and there was a sharp piece that was kept cutting my line. So I filed that down, so I was able to use it. It's a pretty slow reel for a frogging and flipping rod. When you're frogging, you kind of want to be able to get it in and out so you can make more and more casts. I'm using 30-pound test line on it. It was a new brand that I hadn't tried before. I can't remember the name of it. I will post it in the description below if I find the box for it. I don't think I have it anymore. So never mind about the reel. I wouldn't recommend it just because it broke right away. I did email Zebco seeing if I could get a replacement piece, just the part potentially. But it did give me some pretty wicked backlashes, and I did lose about 4 lures because of that cutting ability on it, and I wasn't going to stop using it because I needed a rod for the weekend. So I took the rod out of the sleeve, and the very first thing I noticed was the eyes on the rod. This is actually the biggest one, which is about the same size as my second biggest one on my other bait casting rods, which is really cool. When you get up towards the front, the eyes are just absolutely tiny. It's hard to tell from that angle, but they're absolutely tiny, and there's a lot of them, and I really like that. I noticed I was able to get really accurate casts with it, and not only accurate, but this thing does flip really far with those frogs. It is a really nice handle. I like this grip here. It's nice and sturdy. It actually fits my hand really well. It seems like it was made for both left and right handers. I also like the orange. It's pretty sweet. I have a red reel coming, a red Daiwa reel that my cousin actually just ordered me as a thank you for dog sitting for her. So the rod, I knew going into it that it was a heavy rod, heavy action, and a light medium fast tip. So it is pretty sturdy. Doesn't have a whole lot of give to it. Which is nice when you're frog fishing. You can really whip it out there and really set the hook really hard. It is billed as Flair's frogging and flipping stick. I did use it for a little bit, flipping docks with a jig. One thing I did notice with that is I really missed the sensitivity of my medium heavies and my lighter rods. I missed the sensitivity of knowing when there was fish. The only fish I actually did catch on this rod this weekend was when I was flipping docks with a booyah jig, finesse jig, and that fish, I legitimately told Nate in the boat that, oh crap, I think I caught the dock. It was just a little bit of resistance. I didn't feel the thump 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 that you normally would when the fish took the jig. Started reeling in, kind of jerked it to get off the dock, and then saw the flash of the fish and realized it was a fish. So I did miss the action of my other lighter rods for dock flipping and whatnot. So I don't think I'm going to use this for this in the future. I did just kind of want to get the skunk off it, and I knew there was some bass sitting under those docks. So that's why I went with this. I'm going to stick with with this for pretty much just frogging and any topwater baits that I don't have to finesse in. Like I won't use it for my pencil baits or my jerk baits, anything like that. Worked really well with my whopper ploppers, with my buzz baits. Worked really well with those ones that you don't have to jerk around too much, just because the tip is so stiff. It's hard to get the action that you're looking for. It is a heavy rod, so I was expecting a little bit of weight to it, and it's surprisingly light. I'm really pleased about that, because after hours on the boat, you definitely can notice a little bit of arm tiring from holding a heavier rod. My Fenwick Eagle rod, which is a 7-foot medium heavy rod, is a little bit on the heavier side. Once I was holding this for a long time, switched back over to that, I could definitely notice the weight difference. But again, they're used for different things, so I understand that you aren't casting as far with that one. This one really does whip it out there. I was impressed with the distance of the casts when I'm just flicking it out there. All in all, I definitely would recommend this rod to everyone. It's a really good frogging rod. The 7'3" really gives you that distance. The eyes really give you that accuracy, and the weight of it is really nice and comforting. I also like how much room there is from the reel to the end of the rod. Really makes it easy to get that flip in there. Also gives you some pretty good action when you're frogging, just to give it that little tap against your arm to get that walking motion on your popping frogs. So like I said, this is a really good rod. I'm really pleased I bought it. It's only $100 on the Favorites website, $99.99 plus shipping, so I think it came out to be $120. Definitely would recommend it. I don't really have a star system, but I'm gonna give it 4 stars out of 5, and that's just because it didn't get a 5, just because I don't think it's the perfect rod. I think the perfect rod for me would be something that I can use on pretty much every lure in my tackle box. I don't subscribe to the idea that you need a different rod for every single bait that you have in your tackle box. I really like the idea of fishing being for everyone, not necessarily just for the people who can afford it. And eventually, it'd be nice to be able to design my own rod, which will be suitable for every type of bait there is. Granted, that's going to be really hard to do, but it'd be really nice to be able to get that so that everybody could fish and have it at an affordable price, which I think this one is, sitting at $99 plus shipping. This reel, I think it was $40. So all in all, you'd be in about $160, which isn't astronomical when you think about these rods and reels combos that are ending up being $400 or $500, which I think is completely unnecessary. But if you have the means and you're willing to do it, absolutely go for it. I have thrown a little bit of money at my other rods. I'm not upset about it, because they're going to last me a long time. I'm really looking forward to this summer. It's been a good one so far. This last weekend wasn't great, but as I always tell all my friends, is the worst day fishing is better than your best day at work. And as John B. always says, keep fishing, never stop. It is a great motto, and I applaud him for that. I'm not going to use it just because he already has that, but keep fishing. It'll make you happy.